Yo, 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 you made it. It's your favorite comic on the rise, Meldon Williams, and you are officially tuned into the Comedy Chatter Podcast. You've been searching for a pod that talks all things comedy, as well as kick it with today's nationally touring and headlining comedians, and this is the podcast for you. What's good people? How is everyone doing this time, this go round? Hopefully everybody's doing well. You guys all know me at this point. My name is Meldon Williams. Welcome to the Comedy Chatter Podcast. We're doing amazing things here. Glad you guys are tuning in. Numbers are continuing to go up. I'm appreciating that. Thank you so much to the people that are, kind of responding and, leaving comments and, telling me things I could do better. And, constructive criticism is always good. We're always doing things like this, especially artists like myself, people that are taking on labors of love. You want the content out there. You want people to see it, but it can't all be, rainbows. It can't all be positive. People need to tell you, hey man, you need to do this better. And in my opinion, you could work on this. And guess what? I don't mind that. Although some of the stuff that, it's all advice. So I take it and I use some of the stuff, and some of the stuff I say, hey, I appreciate you. But bottom line, you guys are listening, you guys are subscribing, you guys are supporting. And I truly do appreciate that, because this is something that I'm going to continue to do as long as I get the opportunity to. So thank you so much to everybody that's been listening. Guys know how I do. Shout outs are in order. I always start the pod off by shouting out the one and only Mr. Roger Feeney, the guy that allows me to do my thing at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, my home club. He allows me to come in and, get this podcast thing going. I interview people in the green room. Sometimes I'm, on location or on the road or this, that, and the other. But for the most part, whenever the comics come in, for that week, and, I think it's somebody that's that I'm interested in interviewing, he gives me access to them, man. And if they're cool enough, they do it. We sit down, we chop it up, and, we go ahead and edit it up and put it into a podcast episode. So shouts out definitely to the one and only Mr. Roger Finney. Thank you so much for continuing to believe in me, believe in my vision, and, allowing me to do what I do. Secondly, Mr. David Pittman. Everybody knows that, I always shout him out every time as well. He's my editing and sound guy, the guy that allowed me to, saw my vision and, showed me how to, in turn, edit a podcast, put a podcast together, who I needed to talk to, who I needed to see, the equipment I needed to use, all these things he just was able to do. I mean, didn't know him from a can of paint either. A friend of a friend introduced us. He said, hey, I'll show you how to, make this thing happen. And here I am, 9 episodes later. He's hooking me up and showing me how to get this thing done. So I appreciate that wholeheartedly, David Pittman. Another guy that I've been wanting to shout out that I, hadn't been doing, so I figured it's finally time for me to shout him out. He's pretty much the inspiration, I'll say, to this podcast. I mean, I had the idea of doing the pod and all of that, but a comedian out of Illinois named Joe Roderick. Thank you so much, Joe, for all of your support and all of your hard work and all of your helping me and assisting me. He had a podcast that he was doing for a while called the Stand-Up Chronicles. And so when I started, dabbling in the podcast, I told myself, let me, get on, iTunes and SoundCloud and all that, and look specifically for comedy podcasts. And his was one of the first ones that popped up, the Stand-Up Chronicles. He pretty much, interviewed comedians that came, into the, I believe his home club is the Peoria Club, the Jukebox Comedy Club. That's his home club. And so they allowed him access to the comedians. He interviewed them and then just kind of, basically put a podcast together. I'm sure that sounds familiar, because that is pretty much my makeup of how I do my pod. And once I heard his, I said, this would be a great idea for me to, try to pull off at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. And so the first person I, talked to was him. I got his blessing. He told me that'd be a great idea. He told me that his was, ending soon. And so, hey, I sort of picked up the mantle, and I couldn't be prouder, man, and happier. And once he gave me his blessing and, showed me some of the stuff that I needed to do in order to get this thing started, hey, I've been going ever since. So thank you so much, Mr. Joe Roderick out of Illinois. He's doing some big things. He's still got some other stuff happening. He's still doing his stand up, but yeah, he's definitely instrumental in me getting this podcast started. So I want to shout you out and thank you so much, Mr. Joe Roderick. Back in the day sponsor this go around. Oh man, special one for me. I got it from my favorite podcast, Mr. Jalen Rose, David Jacoby, Jalen and Jacoby. That is my podcast right there, man. I listen to it faithfully. I listen to it any time I get a chance. And Jalen just so happens to be a Michigan native, man, Detroiter. He mentioned this on his podcast, one of the past ones, and I said, man, that's going to be up. I even tweeted him and everything and said, man, Jalen, you just gave me my next Back in the Day sponsor on my podcast. So without further ado, Back in the Day sponsor. If they were still popping today, hopefully they would sponsor me. Bablo Island. Hey, Detroit, stand up. Michigan, stand up. Everybody know about Bablo. If y'all don't know about Bablo, then something wrong with y'all, not me. Like, Bablo was the shit back in the day. It closed down in around 93, I believe. It closed in 93, but you talking about an amusement park? You talking about an experience? Hey, everybody who was anybody used to get on the Bablo boat, man, and we take that boat over. I believe the actual park was in Ontario somewhere. So, it was up in that, it was up in all them lakes, Lake Michigan and all them, Huron River, all that stuff. So you had to take the boat. And you take the boat over to the amusement park and you ride the rides all day. You get all tired. And then guess what? You came back, you got on the boat and it was nighttime. And boy, you talking about a party on that boat? Hey, that was my first cruise, like right there. Like anybody, all these motherfuckers going on cruises and shit nowadays. That was my first cruise when I was young, 10, 11, 12 years old. Bablo, that was an experience like none other. I know everybody wanted to run to Cedar Point in Ohio from Michigan and Six Flags and all that, but nothing matched the Bablo experience because of that damn boat, man. We used to act a fool. We used to have them little light things around your neck that you put around your neck. Can you imagine just a whole boat walking around with them little glow light sticks around your neck? And you got a Pepsi in your hand, and they got a DJ, and we just music on that water? Shit. Man, Bablo Island, boy. Man, they need to bring that back. If they brought Bablo Island back now, I would jump on that. It was just a hell of an experience, and I know all my Michigan folks from Ann Arbor to Detroit to Port Huron, everywhere, they used to get on that boat and go over to Bablo are feeling me right now. So that's the Back in the Day sponsor this go around, Bablo Island. All right, so what are we chatting on this go around, man? Happy Wakanda weekend. That's what weekend it is right now. Happy Wakanda weekend. Anybody that knows that saw Black Panther is up on Black Panther, y'all know the reference, man. Black Panther did it the damn thing this past weekend, man. $218 million opening weekend. Everybody went to see it. I saw it. Oh, it was phenomenal film. Man, everybody that was, involved should be very, very happy. It was so good, I thought it was well written. I thought the story, it was Marvel, you know what I'm saying? They had a $200 million budget, for goodness sake. So, I mean, hey, you do that thing. Shouts out to the director, Ryan Coogler. You're only as good as your villains in these films, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if the villain is really, really good, then the movie is usually really, really good. Think about the Joker and Batman. Think about Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. Think about the villains. If the villains are good, then the movie is good. So, hey, shouts out to Michael B. Jordan because he was unbelievable as the villain in this movie. Anybody that does these comic book movies and these superhero movies, man, you already gotta, of course you already gotta give them a little bit, because they're movies. So you just gotta give a little bit in, like, Superman and Clark Kent with them goddamn glasses. Like we all know, there's no way a pair of glasses would let us know that ain't motherfucking Superman. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? We just kind of give into that just for the sake of the film. So it's certain things you just got to give into because it's a superhero movie. But for the most part, man, like this movie was excellent and brilliant. And all the people that have been, supporting it and talking about it and going to see it and dressing up, and it's been phenomenal. I've actually really, really dug it, and I'm actually really, really proud of people for going out and supporting the film. And, like, my niece, she didn't know anything about Like, what is Black Panther? She don't really do superhero movies and all that. But guess what? She saw all the pride and all the, she's 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? But she saw all the pride and everybody wanted to go see it and everybody talking about it. She's like, I want to go see that too, even though I don't know about no damn Black Panther. I want to see it. So I was happy about that. And this brings me to my, what I want to chat about, for this podcast, my spiel, so to speak. I was, like I said, happy. That's the word that I'm dealing with. I was happy to see people, all fired up about going to see Black Panther. But we have social media, and you get on social media or you talk to certain people and all that, and you always get these certain amount of people that no matter what, no matter how great something is, no matter how cool something is, no matter how many people get behind it, there's always these people that are just, no matter what. I think, obviously the term now is hating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hating on everything. You're hating. And, I don't necessarily believe in that, because just because someone has a negative opinion on something don't mean they're hating. Everybody has an opinion. You know what I'm saying? So if they, if they didn't like it, or if they this, that, and the other, that's fine. But my problem is the people who seem like no matter what. I know all of y'all got these people on your social medias, like no matter what, platform, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You got these people that no matter what the hell is going on, no matter how positive something is, they always find negativity in it. I don't know why that is. And it's been a struggle for me. Like, to every time you see something, like, as positive as everybody was this weekend about Black Panther, you still got motherfuckers on there like, it was still the white man's movie, and it was still made by the white man, and it was still like all the money went to white people. I'm just like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got other people like, since everybody's so proud about Wakanda and everybody's so proud about Black Panther, hopefully you can be as proud and go back to Africa and let's get on the boat and go back. I'm like, dude, that kind of shit pisses me off, because what I'm finally starting to realize, and I posted this on my Facebook. Yeah, I'm old. I still mess with Facebook. But I posted this. I was like, I think I finally figured it out when it comes to the term, happy and happiness. I think some people in the world are just incapable. That's the word. They're incapable of being truly happy. They're incapable of when some good shit happens to them, or when some good shit happens to someone else even. They can't be happy. Like, it's just like damn near impossible. And those people get on my fucking nerves. They really do. Like, something as positive as this movie and the movement that it created this weekend, and all the people that went out and they supported and they dressed up, and the first African American lead in a Marvel film, and the first predominantly black cast to do all of these all these positive things, and people taking their kids and all. That's a good thing, people. You understand me? That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. And so what I'm saying is, be happy for good things. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Barack Obama was sworn in, when he won, should I say, not even sworn in, because that's not till January, but when he won the presidency and he was the president-elect, we knew he was going to be president, and he was going to be the first black president of the United States in 2008. There was still some even though everybody else was happy in the movement and they was amazing, it was still motherfuckers like, well, he only half black, he half white too, so that's we basically still don't have a black president. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's what I say to people like that. Like, you try to shit on a moment no matter how amazing it is, and that shit steams my clams, like my man Peter Griffin would say. No, he don't say steam my clams, he say grind my gears. Yeah. That shit grinds my gears. When motherfuckers just can't, be happy about stuff that's actually happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's shit where you should be happy. Like that movie, Pursuit of Happiness, when Will Smith ran down them damn steps. You know what I'm saying? He said this moment right here, this exact moment is happiness. And he was losing it because he had just got that damn job at Dean Witter. You know what I'm saying? A job where he was, hey, that character, man, Chris Gardner, he had went through all types of shit. Sleeping on bathroom floors with his son, riding the L all night. He ain't got no money. But guess what? He was a survivor. He was a dude that was like, I don't give a fuck how bad things are. I'm going to see the good in things. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try my best to keep on keeping on. That's why I like that movie. His goal, it seemed like, this should be everybody's goal. Your goal in life every single fucking day is to, it should be able to try to turn that frown you got into a smile. Try to turn like bad into good. You know what I'm saying? Try to be happy when happy shit, when stuff comes along in which you should be happy. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Embrace it. You shouldn't be sitting at a graduation with somebody graduating from high school saying, oh shit, now the motherfuckers got to go to college and now we got to pay for it. They're like, no, you shouldn't be sitting there. This is not the time for that. Right now is the time for motherfucking gratitude. Right now is the time for to be happy. Be happy for that person graduating. You feel me? Oh man, I've been waiting. I've been waiting to get it in on this one because, dude, I'm so sick of motherfucking people that just. And you know what? In a lot of instances, I feel bad for them. I really do. You know, I feel bad for them. I feel bad that they aren't able, like I said, incapable of being happy. No matter what the hell happens to them, they just still find like the darkness in, you know, light. And you know, that could be upbringing. There could be a whole lot. You know, I don't want to get Sigmund Freud on y'all, but you know, I feel bad for him, man. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we need to try to be. That's why I believe I do comedy, man. I think I do comedy because comedy is one of those things that ever since I was growing up, I realized that no matter how fucking sad you were, no matter what was going on in your life and all that, like you could look at a comedian and he just say some shit, or, you know, you watch a TV show and they do some shit that makes you laugh. Laughter is happy. You know what I'm saying? No matter how mad you are, if you laugh like that emotion is happiness. You know what I'm saying? That is you showing happiness, no matter how down in the doldrums you are. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I think I have steered towards stand-up comedy. I love to see a room full of people laughing together. There's nothing better to me than that. You know what I mean? King Day just passed. I celebrated. Anybody celebrate King Day? Anybody celebrate King Day? Yeah. I celebrated King Day a little differently this go around. Yeah. I celebrated it a little differently. Because, you know, Martin Luther King was all about equal opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Equality for everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I figured this is King Day. I would just watch all white girl porn. That's it. Just only white women this go around, you know what I mean? Because usually I'm on other shit. I'm on, like, you know, black girl milfs and big booty freaks and all that shit. But this time it was just all white women. That's it. And guess what? I was pleasantly surprised, though, white women. Y'all are fucking disgusting. Round of applause to you, motherfuckers. Y'all. Shit, congratulations on y'all's disgustingness. Oh, my God. It was amazing, man. So yeah, man, like please, like, you know, try to be happy when happiness comes along your way. Try to be Will Smith, you know what I'm saying, coming down them steps in that movie, you know what I'm saying? You're clapping your hands and stomping your feet and losing your mind. He didn't give a damn about all them people out there. That moment for him was happiness because he just got that. Try to embrace that shit, man. I mean, hey, life is a roller coaster. I get it. Life is a roller coaster. Ups, downs, twists, turns, shakes, jumps. I get all of that. But guess what? The same way you know, going in about being, you know, about the bad stuff, hey, you need to be that turned up. You need to be that on 10 when some happy shit happens to you. Be happy. Learn how to be happy. For real, man. Yeah, going right into the next. This kind of can go right into the next thing. Chris Rock's special just dropped. You know what I'm saying? Tambourine. I fucking loved it. I thought it was... Chris Rock is, without a doubt, my favorite comic. Like, right now, if I had to pick a favorite, it's Chris Rock. Because every time he hits... And I know he hadn't done a special in 10 years, whatever. But he ain't never really went away. He's done movies, you know what I'm saying? But Chris, you know, is just... You know, he hosted the Oscars a couple of... Like, who could they have gotten Who else could they have gotten other than Chris Rock a couple years ago when that Oscars, the Academy Award came out and all the white people and they was, Oscar so white, remember that? Who else the fuck could they have gotten other than Chris Rock? Like that pretty much proved him legendary that year, and the fact that he went up there and delivered. I mean, he said some cutting edge shit too, but only Chris Rock could get away with it. Only Chris Rock. He's just a very, very funny but very smart and very clever comedian, and that's what I love about him. I pride myself on trying to be those characteristics when I do stand up. But I thought his special was amazing. And then, of course, you got motherfuckers, oh, man, shit, Netflix need to get their $20 million back. Bitch, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, Netflix ain't worried about their $20 million. Shit, matter of fact, they're going to give them $20 million more for another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chris Ray, the special's good. If you didn't like it, that's fine. But don't talk about what Netflix need to get back. Like, that ain't got shit to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chris Rock's special was good. And anybody that digs smart, hip, clever comedy. I mean, he even got, darker than he usually gets. I mean, don't get me wrong. Because Chris could be cutting edge, but he talked about his infidelity. He talked about raising his kids. He talked about gun violence again. Like, he was very poignant. He was very good. He was very to the point. And what I liked about this one more is that he was a tad bit subdued. He wasn't the same, young Chris Rock that tie. He wasn't that guy. He wasn't running all around. He wasn't pacing as much as he used to. He was just way more, just like, hey, this is what I did. This is what's going on. This is who I was. I mean, at one point he just mentioned, hey, I was an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, to his wife. And, that was who he was on stage. He was just, letting you in. And the special was amazing. And like I said, that's my opinion. But like I said, all the motherfuckers that with the negative comments, hey, you can. It's fine for you to have an opinion and say you didn't dig it as much as I did, or you didn't dig it, and blah, blah. But as soon as you start making comments about what Netflix could have did with their money, hey, that's when you fucking lose me, because that Netflix money ain't got shit to do with you. Get your weight up. You try to get $20 million for some shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about Chris Rock's money. You feel me? Like he did, it was excellent enough for them to say, hey, not only do I want that one, but I'm gonna pay you $20 million for the next one that you do. So, but yeah, man, hey, that's my chat for this go arounds podcast, man. All the people out there that's incapable of fucking happiness, dude, try to be happy. When shit pop off that's bad, hey, your ass can get real depressed and real down in the doldrums and go in your room and drink and all of that shit. Hey, you need to be as happy as that when happy shit happen. You know what I mean? You need to motherfucking go to the amusement park, reopen Boblo Island, and go to Boblo and ride every goddamn ride and yell and scream and have fun and be happy, dude. Shit. Yeah, man. Let me quit. I could talk another motherfucking 40 minutes about just being happy, dude. Because I consider myself a happy dude. You know what I'm saying? I've been through shit in my life, of course. But, hey, I'm a comedian. And, hey, I'm not one of them comedians where everybody talk about I'm depressed and I'm going through shit. Of course I'm going through shit, but, hey, I want to see motherfuckers laughing. That's why I do what I do. Special interview, by the way. This go around, man. I have been trying my best to get with this cat, man. I have been Facebook stalking him for a while, and finally got a chance to have him roll up through the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. The one and only Mr. Dwayne Kennedy, a very funny guy, man. He's touring right now with W. Kamau Bell. He's written Totally Biased with Bell. He also currently writes for his show United Shades of America. Just a very, very funny and amazing comedian. He goes all the way back to, like, I laughed with him on the interview. So he goes all the way back with me to Talking Dirty After Dark with Martin Lawrence, man, one of Martin's first movies. He was hilarious in that. So yeah, without further ado, man, I want y'all to sit back, relax, enjoy this interview with the one and only Mr. Dwayne Kennedy. Nice mic. Thank you much. Thank you much. I appreciate that. I got this as a gift, man.
Yeah.
So it's funny how things kind of always come together.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of thinking about doing a podcast and this, that, and the other. And I was like, man, where do I start? Where do I start?
Yeah.
No sooner than I thought that this chick that I was kind of dating at the time. Hey, here's a microphone. I know you do comedy. Wow. I was like, damn, okay, thank you. That was kind of nice foresight to her.
Yeah.
And then, hey, here I am 2 years later. We ain't together no more, but
right. But you and the mic still making it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you and the mic going strong.
Exactly.
That's
Ladies and gentlemen,
mic.
yeah, it's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, without further ado, man, I'm gonna start this Comedy Chatter podcast off today with a very special guest. Mr. Dwayne Kennedy. He just got done getting it in at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. We're here in the green room. And first things are in order, man. I got to go ahead and offer my apologies to you for being the weird Facebook stalker guy.
Oh, that's all right, man. I love meeting my weird Facebook stalkers in person.
Yeah, it was hilarious because I said when I finally meet you, yesterday I came to meet you.
Right.
And I was like, when I finally meet this dude, he finally gonna be like, oh, hell, this is the dude that's been asking me for I don't know how long to do this podcast. But I was like, I finally got him now, so let's see what he says.
No, it's
and
fine,
I appreciate
man.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I'm glad
you.
to have met you, man. Then you don't become just a figment and abstraction.
Now you know, like, who the hell is this dude?
Right,
yes,
right.
exactly right, though, man. That's funny as hell. So I start all my pods off with this general question. Mm-hmm. And I may know where you're going with this. First of all, I'm a huge basketball fan. And so whenever I do my podcast, I always start this question off to kind of know, kind of steer, kind of know exactly who it is I'm just chatting with. I may know where you're going with this because of where you're from. You're from my hometown, the Chi. So the question is simple. You can take it anywhere you want. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. Any of them three. Where you going?
I'll say Jordan.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I think I already knew who I was talking to. Once somebody say the Chi, it's hard to disrespect the man when you're from the Chi. But did you mess with Jordan growing up? Are you a sports dude at all, or what?
I like sports, man. Yeah, I'm not. I like sports. Football probably is my favorite sport, but I like sports, man. And I root for all the Chicago team. Yes. I know some people say they ask you if you're from Chicago, Cubs or White Sox. I'll tell you, whatever one is winning.
Okay, so whichever one is getting it in. Yeah. Hey, man, speaking of them damn Cubs, was you like on the floor and in tears with everybody when them fools broke through and won recently?
Yeah, I was happy, man. I wasn't crying, but
it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I thought about one person, my grandfather, who I don't like baseball that much. Mm-hmm. I used to always just kind of lay on the floor watching baseball with him, just like, man, I can't wait till this long-ass game is over. And my grandfather watched the whole game. He'd been a Cubs fan for so long. First person I called, I was like, man, did you see what just happened? Wow. And he was losing it. Like, the Cubs finally went ahead and won a damn World Series.
Great, man. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a hell of a memory right there. So, yeah, I figured, hey, when it comes to, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, like, yeah, we gonna take the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, speaking of that, man, you said Chi-Town, that's where I was from. I was raised here, though. So, I was born in Chicago. Okay. 73rd, Stony Island. What's up? Where you at? Where are you from?
Wait a minute. Okay. I don't want to give people my address on the podcast. But I'm from the South Side. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Good call.
Yeah.
But man.
Lunatics coming to the crib.
Yeah, y'all watch that. Y'all watch that. It was different from Facebook stalkers. It was different. Yeah. Right. But so now did Chicago shape and mold your style of comedy? Like, not necessarily but who, like, in terms of people that you dug, as well as what kind of shaped your style of comedy?
Well, it's more the people that I saw on TV. So not so much people from Chicago at first. It was Pryor and Cosby and all the standards, So I love comedy, man. So I love watching comedians on TV, and I loved it. Mostly everybody. I just love the art of it, and it just seemed like magic, man. People could just say something and make people laugh. Just something that came out of your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a magic trick. It definitely is. Yeah.
Then also then all the other a lot of Chicago cats that I do like. A lot of funny Chicago people, but when I was first into comedy. It wasn't so much like anybody in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was just like the ones you saw on TV. Yeah, those are the ones that kind of like. I definitely see a prior. Like we and a friend of mine just sat there and watched your act tonight, and I was just like, yeah, you can kind of. I was looking because I know you're a comedy vet, man. You've been doing this a long time, and you can kind of see like the prior in you definitely.
Yeah.
Favorite room, if not your favorite room, like just tell me like some of the best clubs that you feel that you worked in. Like this is an awesome play. Every time comedy showcase, man, especially with the new location with all the other room. But yeah, what's some of your favorite clubs you worked?
Well, yeah, I like the showcase, comedy showcase here, the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase.
Yeah.
Man, it's been. I like Zany's.
Okay, Zany's. We talked about this other day. The Rosemont.
I like them both, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the one on Wells Street and the one in Rosemont.
Okay, so I didn't know about the Wells Street.
Yeah, that's the one in Chicago.
Okay.
Proper,
okay. Yeah.
There's some clubs I might not even be able to recall the name. I've done some one-nighters.
Oh, okay.
Like the independent rooms.
Yeah.
Been cool shows, so.
Okay.
Yeah, man. But you know how that is. It's just, any place that you do well at, that's one of your favorite
That's
rooms.
your favorite,
yeah.
You're right about that.
If you don't, then the room sucks.
Then you're like, this room is horrible.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I got to ask you about this, man, with the, like I said, you've been doing stand-up a while, man. You've been out here, movies, since another TV, we'll get into that in a sec. But with the flux of, social media, we got social media nowadays. And so we got so many people that are either they're comedians. I don't know exactly where to put them, but they're comedians, or they're making videos because they want to make you laugh. I don't know. So I just wanted to get your take on the gist of social media comedians and what it is that they're doing.
Social medians.
Yes, that's a perfect way to. So what's your take on them? Like as far as just kind of doing the videos and them trying to do stand up if they're making it stand. Like put it this way. I saw a guy that, guy will remain nameless, but he got, famous. He got his, claim to fame doing these videos. And I recently saw him on a show where he headlined over a guy that had been doing comedy 15, 20 years, been in movies and everything, but just because he was, burning hot.
Right.
So, what's your take on that?
Hey, man, I mean, that's just the world we live in right now, and if you can garner an audience, and I know just as a business, that's what a club owner is looking at. Can you put butts in the seats? So that's where they're at. So I understand that cats who have large social media presences, when they go and they can fill up a room or fill up 4, 5, 6 shows, then that's just the business aspect. As far as the comedy itself, that's always a crapshoot. Because some things that are funny in social media or funny in 2 and 3 second blast or 4-minute blast or whatever it might be might not translate, or that person might not have the chops to make it translate on a live performance.
There you go.
Which is a common thing.
Yeah, it's totally different animal, man. Totally different animal having your phone and then in your house, in your bathroom or whatever, making something hilarious or making for you think it's funny. You put it on and it gets 5,000 hits. Oh man, it's hilarious. And then somebody booking you off of that, and then your tail got to do what you just did for 45 minutes. Or better yet, like what I saw you do last night, where it's 10, 15 people in there, and you got to make these people. Hey, you worked last night. You made them pop, man. I'm telling you. I was like, oh, there's no way. Like I told myself, that's why you're not a headliner yet. You wouldn't be able to do that, man. So definitely, man. I get you totally.
Yeah.
Now, what's some of the best advice that you've gotten from another comic? Maybe when you're starting out, or maybe even recently. What's some of the best advice that you think that you've probably ever gotten from other comics?
I can't remember any specific advice, but just through example, just when you see cats who just up and working the craft, trying out material, working material. That's what it is. Just going up and working it. So it wasn't so much advice, but people that I could see and I've learned from example.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what you probably tell some of these young bucks now. Like, hey, whatever you're doing, man, like me, I consider myself an up and coming. I've just started to try to feature. But that's what you got to do. You just keep working it. Keep working it.
Yeah, and learn about the structure of comedy. Learn
structure.
About, man, because there's a structure to it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's like when the jazz musicians used to say, you learn the scales and then you forget the scales, but you learn it and you ingest all that till it gets into your subconscious. Then you don't have to worry about it. Just comes. You know.
Okay.
So it's the same thing with whatever comedians you like. Study those comedians, see why you like them. To think about what it is you want to say on stage.
Yeah.
You know, and how you want to represent yourself and all those things. Yeah, man, it's just put some thought into it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, like I already mentioned, man, like I said, you've been doing this for a while, to the point where I met you yesterday and mentioned, hey, we go all the way back to Talking Dirty After Dark.
Oh,
days.
brother! Boy!
That was my movie, man. So when I saw, on Facebook, and I friended you friend me back, I was like, man, that's my man off Talking Dirty After Dark. You like Cold Chicken and Last Week Grease, like that's my man. So I love that movie, dude. And so yeah, you did there, and then How High with Meth and Red, man. Yeah. And then you've also done some television, Seinfeld. I wasn't working on the Seinfeld show. Did you write, or was you just in it? Or
on Seinfeld, I was just in it. I just auditioned for a part.
Cool.
But now, How High, the way I got that was I was doing the Montreal Comedy Festival.
Okay.
And one of the producers was in the audience, and they saw me. And at first, they thought I'd be right for a particular part on the movie. That didn't happen. But then they asked me, did I want to write what they call punch up on movies, which whereas say you write a script and then people want to produce the script, and then but then they bring in other people to help punch it up, to add jokes, to make it pop, to make it funnier, whatever it is.
Okay.
So that's a whole profession. People do that.
See, that's what I got to get into. Writing, man. I was going to ask you about that too. Like I said, you've been getting your writing, and you wrote with Kamal Bell for that. Yeah. So
I wrote on his first television show,
Totally Biased.
And now I'm writing on his current show, United Shades of America.
United Shades, exactly. That's why I mentioned that yesterday too. Like, I wasn't hip to him in terms of stand-up comedy, but I had been hearing good things. Like Rock, everybody was like, man, y'all got to give this guy W. Kamau Bell.
Yeah.
And then no sooner than I listen to whatever Rock says. That's my guy, my favorite. Okay. That's my favorite comic. And once he said that, I started kind of looking at it. And then United Shades came out of nowhere, and that's a real good, profound show, man.
Yeah.
That's the kind of show they need to have on. If it all is love and hip hop in Detroit and shit, they need to put more shows on like that. Yeah. So you got a chance to work with, we mentioned Talking Dirty After Dark, but you worked on the Martin Show as well, which is another one of my favorite dudes, man.
Yeah, Martin and I used to have the same manager.
Okay.
This cat named Topper Carew.
Topper Carew, okay. I know
Topper and Alice Carew, yeah.
Yeah. Not personally, but I've always seen his name flash across the that's how much Martin I've watched. Like, I done memorized the names after they come on the credits.
Yeah.
And then I was a Robin Harris. I'm a really big fan of his.
Okay. Who was also born in Chicago.
Yes, that's another Chi-Town great, man. Rest in peace, Robin.
Yeah.
And so when I watched his special, I finally got a chance to put a face to Topper Carew, because I'd always seen that he was on there just talking about Robin and how he kind of helped him out, how he started, out with him as well.
Yeah.
So you got to give me a Martin story, man. Like, that's one of my favorite dudes. And you've been on the show. You was a high, like no funny, no crazy Martin stories.
Nah, I don't really have any Martin stories.
Okay.
Nah, no, man. I worked with him a few times, obviously, but no stories. Really.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I said, Martin Lawrence, man, he was clearly like the '90s.
Yeah.
Man, my boys and I, that's all we, like I said, memorize. I used to have the VCR. We don't got that no more. Record every damn thing and then memorize it all. And so we saying all the damn lines and everything every single day. But that was my dude, man. That was my dude.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of ended with always asking the comedian that I'm interviewing, who you fanning on right now? Basically, like, who are some comedians out there that you are enjoying that's getting in here right now? I know this is the nature, the essence. I mean, the essence of the Netflix special right now. Mm-hmm. So everybody getting the freaking Netflix special.
Yeah, brother. But I hope to get mine.
Exactly. Hey, believe me, they're ready. They're ready. But I'm talking about just cats that maybe that aren't there yet. Some people that you've maybe seen just kind of when you're doing these shows. You're like, damn it, this dude funny as hell. Like some Chicago folk maybe.
I saw a cat the other night. I can't remember his name. I see people, sometimes I'll still go out every now and then and do some of these independent shows, and I see people like, man, they're funny. But now it's like names are escaping me. But
now I heard you mention to Roger earlier about a super funny dude out of Chicago that he should mess with. Ken.
Oh, there's Kevin Bozeman.
Kevin Bozeman is what you said. Yep,
Kevin
he's pretty
Bozeman,
good.
Yeah, Bozeman is funny, man. Bozeman is funny. Pat McGann is funny.
Okay.
Yeah, these cats are funny.
So these are guys that are working, headlining?
Yeah, headlining in Chicago. Out of Chicago, but in the Midwest.
Get them up there. Y'all always ask that, man.
There's so many, man. There's so many people.
People I need to check
some
out.
of the women who I really like. Erica Nicole Clark. She's out of Chicago. Who else, man? I know how this is gonna go. Like tonight when I'm laying in bed. Oh man, I had 8 million names. Now I can remember.
You gonna remember all of them? Hey, it's no problem. Hey man, well, once again I want to thank you for coming and doing the podcast. Yeah. And like I said, man, I knew that once I finally met you, this is gonna be like, man, this is the food.
I can't run anymore.
This is the food that's been like, yo, man, like, hey, you coming to the comedy club?
Right.
But hey, glad I got a chance to share the stage with you tonight and everything. And we're gonna see how this second show plays out too.
Okay.
So thanks a lot. Appreciate you, Dwayne.
Man, I appreciate you.
Once again, thanks so much for checking out the pod. Very special thanks to my guest, Mr. Dwayne Kennedy. You can check him out on his social media outlets for all future show info. Check out the next episode of the Comedy Chatter podcast with another nationally touring comic. And of course, me, Meldon Williams. Make sure y'all keep listening, subscribing, and supporting. Y'all be good to yourselves and each other. Take care.